Two-point perspective is pretty much the meat and potatoes of perspective drawing. Whether we're considering art, photography, or cinematography, two-point perspective adds a strong dimensionality to almost any composition. It seems to define our view of the world around us. Its upright vertical edges counteract and contrast edges that converge toward far-off points in the distance. To use perspective effectively in our own compositions, it's helpful to understand how objects behave when our perspective to them changes. Continuing from where my Beginning with the Basics class left off, I talk about how we can control two-point perspective with the COV rig. That's right, the same COV rig used to build objects accurately in one-point perspective can be used to draw objects just as accurately in two-point perspective. This class begins with a brief review covering general perspective and an overview of the COV rig. From there, we'll go over how the X, Y, and Z axes help us describe an object's size, placement, and orientation in perspective. Then I'll pull back the curtain and show you how to place vanishing points properly so you can draw objects at any angle of your choosing, and avoid the perspective distortion that often occurs if vanishing points are misplaced. I will also show you how to measure foreshortened distances in two-point perspective with measure points. This makes it possible to draw a perfect cube in perspective without any guesswork, as well as draw any other measured object in perspective. Of course, I'll demonstrate how to draw objects in two-point perspective using the COV rig, and wrap it all up with how to draw perfect circles in perspective. Along the way, you'll see workflows that help manage complex guide structures that you can use while constructing your own drawings. Plus, we'll be loading up your perspective drawing toolbox with new skills and techniques. Once again, I will be working in Affinity Designer, a vector drawing program very similar to Adobe Illustrator. However, these construction techniques apply to other digital art programs as well as good old pencil and paper. Your class project is to draw your own objects in 3D using the COV rig and practice the construction techniques you'll learn about in this class. I've also published a companion class on Skillshare that's designed to advance your skills and knowledge. In it, I show you how to draw a racing wheel step by step. My purpose in this class is to help you understand how perspective works and how to use the construction methods needed to draw accurately in two-point perspective. Let's get started.